Hey everyone, welcome to Bite Your Tongue, the podcast. Join me, your host, Denise Gorant, as we explore the ins and outs of building healthy relationships with our adult children. Together, we'll speak with experts, share heartfelt stories, and get timely advice, addressing topics that matter most to you. Get ready to dive deep and learn to build and nurture deep connections with our adult children. And of course, when to bite our tongues. So let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bite Your Tongue. And today we're back with our short episode straight from the listener line, real questions, real answers. In this series, we take one listener question and bring in an expert to help us think it through, honestly, thoughtfully, and with real life experience. Today's question is about grandparenting. So we're talking to Kimberly Beppler. Kimberly is a grandparent doula. Her website is grandparentdoula.com. We actually have a full episode with Kim talking about all things grandparenting in season 5, episode 95. She specializes in helping new grandparents navigate the joys and challenges of this exciting stage of life. So let me read the listener question, and then Kimberly's here to help us. The listener said,
Hi, Denise. I love the podcast. Listen to it regularly. I do want to talk about maybe a program about being a stepmom and a mother-in-law. So stepmom to a son and then a mother-in-law to his wife. And what we're facing is just really unsustainable expectations with the baby who is now a year. We try to help with formula. It's not the right formula, even it was meant to be, simple mistake, nap time schedule. There's actually zero flexibility, even when directions change from 1 week to the next by like 30 minutes. Harshness about us not offering to help more, even when we haven't been allowed to watch the baby much because she doesn't sleep here well, supposedly. So there's just also this culture of from the girl's family, from the mom's family, girl family to boy family, being a boy mom versus a girl mom, as a grandparent, and just the heightened expectations attached with that. So I feel like it's gotten to be kind of a no-win situation, and trying to have healthy boundaries where if there can't be any flexibility with the nap time, like 1 week to the next, thinking we're doing the right thing. And it's like, I told you 10 o'clock when the week before it was 10:30 to 11, she would go down for a nap. And so the feeling that we're undermining her when in fact we're really doing our best. And it's me and my husband, but it all seems to fall on me for whatever reason. Anyway, I know that's a lot. I know there's other grandmoms out there who are facing the same thing, just trying to do what is right with a good heart and it being perceived something completely different. Anyway, thank you for your show, and I hope to see something about this soon. Bye.
well, listener, you're going to hear right now because here's Kimberly to give you some thoughts. Kimberly, this is a tough one. I mean, it's really hard when we don't have the full story, but tell us your initial thoughts.
My first thought was, I want to think, how is this new mom feeling? Right? Because while we're dealing with the step grandparent who's also an in-law, and that's a really complex relationship, right? We don't know any of that history. I see new moms every day. I have new moms groups and they tell me their innermost thoughts. And I can tell you there's vulnerability. And what this step in-law grandparent is having to deal with is layers of complexity that is going to be really, really hard to mesh through unless they meet that vulnerable new mom in a different place, right? I took some notes because I was like, all right, so what do I hear? And
Okay.
she wants to have some healthy boundaries. She wants to feel like they have a rein on what's happening. But I can tell you as a grandparent, as well as an educator, you have to go with the kids' boundaries. While we need boundaries, of course, that first year of having a newborn, of raising a baby, the immense pressure of a firstborn is so intense. And here they are just rounding that first year. the lack of confidence that new parents have and the desire for control that they have, it's not like what we've experienced when we're in our grandparenting years, where we know we have no control, right? We have let that go because we have not just seen the newborn years, but those busy toddler years in school and horribly difficult teenage years sometimes. We have let go of control. We know that the child's temperament matters. So many factors come into who makes this child. But a first year parent, especially a first year mother, she thinks that with her actions, she can shape her child into a certain thing. And that is a long-term lesson, right? That's not something we learn. There is a loss of control of having a newborn, and there's a loss of control of having a toddler. But in that first year, there's a lot of hopes and dreams that are dashed in a new mom's heart because she's realizing, oh, I can't fix that. Oh, I can't control that. Oh, by having a nap schedule, I can't form this baby into this flexible baby that can travel all over the place. Or, oh, I have to stick to it because this child flips out if they don't have their exact, like there's all that learning in that first year. And I think, especially if you're not the parent that raised that adult child, it's hard to relate back to what that is. I also think as a grandparent, we have this wide panoramic perspective. A new parent has a very telescoping perspective, right? Just this slice of a year. So while I can absolutely see it from the grandparents' perspective, and I have thought and felt many of those things, like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything right. Everything I do feels criticized. And well, I tried to do just what she said, but then she changed it. Like, all those feelings are so valid. And my guess is they're really working hard at trying to do this just exactly right. I heard her say, we want to do what's right. And I feel that down to my bones. But from a new parent perspective, it's really about just following the guidelines of that sliver of control that they have. And I just don't think new parents, they don't feel supported unless you're totally on board with whatever it is that they're trying. And you know they're going to change their mind. They're going to try and approach and realize, oh, this falls totally flat with our kid, or they'll read a different book, or they'll follow a different blog and go, oh, we're going to do this thing instead. Okay, but we have 20, 25, 30 years of watching that with our kids and going, oh, you can use lots of things and you can change your perspective. A mom in the first year doesn't even believe she's doing a good job most of the time. Like, we pulled our moms group the other day and none of them said they felt like they were doing everything they could for their baby. And these are fantastic moms, like loving, well-educated, many of them stay-at-home moms, some of them working moms. They're like, oh no, I could be doing so much more. I could be building their brain development, and I'm not taking them to this, and I haven't built this skill, and I'm not helping them be resilient. You know, they have to be resilient. Like, these are 11-month-olds. These moms are feeling terrible. And boy, that was an eye-opener for me, because our mothers felt like they were doing a pretty good job. Like, I can tell you, my mom was like, I did great. You guys were great. And I feel like, gosh, I did my best in a challenging situation. But new moms, they don't feel like they're doing great. They don't have confidence.
Well, and they're being judged by so many with social media and all these kinds of things. I think you hit the nail right on the head. So really, in essence, you have to bite your tongue a lot, smile, and say, we'll change it. Okay, tomorrow we'll do it that way, even though it's really, really hard.
I think the best thing you can do in these challenging situations is say to your adult child, we trust you. This baby is amazing. Thank you for sharing this child with us. They're so fantastic. And if this is the formula you want us to feed, let me make sure I'm mixing it the way you like. Right? I'm going to do these steps. Does that fit? Okay, great. Because you know what, formula instructions have changed significantly. And the guidelines, how they're mixed, is very dependent on the type of formula you have, the format that you go, like the metrics that you go by. You might be going by the CDC or the World Health Organization or the back of the can, and those all conflict, which is super confusing, but I'm sure grandparents want to do it right. So asking specifically, like, okay, this is a formula, great. Get on board with whatever feeding decision they make. Feeding is one area that parents can control and feel like they can get the outcome they want. And if they've done a lot of research on this formula, which they almost always have, like, this is the one, not an aberration of this or a little half ounce of extra water. Like this one mixed this way, given this
Gosh,
way
you
in
are
that bottle.
so right. You are so right.
It's just true. I remember having a newborn and having people swipe a bite of something and just stick it in their mouth, like cake frosting.
Oh yeah, that can be a sin.
Oh, how
Yeah.
dare you be the first one to give them cake frosting and they're only 4 months old, right? Like
Yeah.
that is breaking a lot. That's breaking a parent's
That's a
boundary
huge
where
boundary,
they
right?
really should be in charge of those food feeding decisions. So the formula thing, I think, just reaffirm we're back on this. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. This is what we want. Okay, we'll do that. The napping situation is really tough because if we're asking grandparents to follow a nap schedule, moms can't even often follow a nap schedule. Dads are often terrible at following a nap schedule because babies are unique and complex and their needs change. So I think the best thing you can do in that specific scenario is see what their goals are, reaffirm their goals and say, this is what we're going to work toward. And if it doesn't work out, say, we really tried for the 10 o'clock nap. It just didn't work till 10:30. I promise we tried.
Right.
And be very reaffirming to a parent to say, we know what your goals are. We're on board with your goals. We just couldn't do it. And then they're like, well, we can't do it sometimes either. Like there's some
Well, and it
shared
sounds like-
vulnerability there.
It sounds like you're working in a lot of compliments too. You're doing a great job. I love the way you have the baby on a schedule, and we're going to do our best to meet those needs because
Yep.
we know it's the best for the baby. But also with naps, the one thing I took away is that you never know. They go down for one nap. They might not sleep so well the first nap, so they have to go down earlier for the second nap. You have to play all that, and that mother will get that as time goes on. You've really hit the nail right on the head, so I can't thank you enough. And listener, I hope this really helped you, and others who are listening and new grandparents, this really helped me, so I hope it really helped you. Thank you. Well, that's a wrap. Boy, did she hit the nail on the head. I now really understand the stress that these new parents are going through. I also understand my daughter and the need they have for control and being the parent of this baby. We just need to bite our tongues and understand that they are the parents and do our best to meet their needs. Thanks so much, Kimberly. And thanks to Connie Goren-Fisher, our audio engineer, who now has a lot more work editing our new series, Straight from the Listener Line. Real questions, real answers. Send us your questions via phone at 719-347-1106 or by email at biteyourtonguepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again so much for listening. I hope this helps some grandparents out there to really think things through. And remember, sometimes you just have to bite your tongue.